Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Friday, November 5th, at 3:27 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 721 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Explainer, what came of hero testimony at Rittenhouse trial? Open secret at Royal Palm High, at least 15 students were lured to Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach mansion. House tends delay huge social bill, plan infrastructure vote. Aaron Rodgers says he's taken ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine since testing positive for COVID-19. KY police find missing girl after she alerts driver on I-75 with hand signal from TikTok. In Richmond, Youngkin to face the Senate Democratic Alamo. Brian Laundrie, update, FBI probe slain fugitive texts and emails as they try to close Petito case. Rap Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez slammed James Carville, saying wokeness is a term almost exclusively used by older people these days. A surgeon removed the wrong adrenal gland, altering my life forever. Here's why I chose to forgive him. Prince Albert of Monaco says he's furious at the mother of his son for saying Princess Charlene once moved their child into the employee wing. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. House leadership strategy at risk of collapsing as Pelosi presses for infrastructure vote, CNN. Former USC official pleads guilty in college admission scandal, The New York Times. Your Pixel 6 can be MagSafe friendly with this moment case, The Verge. Texas Attorney General sues Biden administration, slams flatly unconstitutional federal vaccine mandate, Fox News. Andrew Cuomo court date delayed after prosecutor warns of defective sex crime complaint, CNBC. Lamar Jackson's message to Ravens fans begging for Odell Beckham, New York Post. Canelo vs. Plant weigh-in results and stare-down video, bad left hook. Planetary defense test to see if an asteroid's path can be changed is about to launch, The Drive. Green Bay Packers QB Aaron Rodgers says he didn't lie, details decision to not get vaccinated, ESPN. IRS increases 401k contribution limit for 2022 but leaves IRA max unchanged, Fox Business. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. NASCAR denounces Let's Go, Brandon conservative rally cry. Glenn Youngkin's 17-year-old son tried to vote in Virginia election, officials. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever halts production as Letitia Wright recovers from injury. The GOP is trying to erase the longest-serving woman in Congress. 23 of the funniest tweets about cats and dogs this week. Andrew Cuomo prosecutor seeks more time to finish investigation. Aaron Rodgers gives wild anti-vaccine interview after catching COVID-19. Billy Porter apologizes to Harry Styles for Vogue-covered diss, "It's not about you." Supreme Court to hear case on FBI's surveillance of Muslims. Broken toilet means SpaceX crew is stuck using diapers. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Boy goes viral after leaving candy in empty bowl. Husband pulls pregnant wife out of fiery car. Teen with special needs who donated organs. Kansas prison guard severely beaten by inmate. Police accused of dumping man in parking lot. Law professor defends himself amid call for firing. Officer breaks up dueling eagles. Good Samaritan stumbles upon crash, comforts teen trapped in car. Police officer shot, suspect identified. Students eat lunch outside intends to stem COVID. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Business updates, Boeing directors reach settlement over 737 MAX. Defense lawyer in Ahmaud Arbery trial invokes citizens arrest law. 8 groups join Tigray rebels vowing to oust Ethiopia's leader. Pfizer says its antiviral pill is highly effective in treating COVID. Democrats push ahead on infrastructure bill, putting off vote on social policy. Former USC official pleads guilty in college admissions scandal. Kyrsten Sinema and the politics of a sleeveless silhouette. Aaron Rodgers lashes out about NFL's vaccine requirements. People tied to Project Veritas scrutinized in theft of diary from Biden's daughter. October 2021 jobs report, gain of 531,000 offers brighter picture. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Chicago reinstates gun and ammunition tax after court deems it unconstitutional. Texas AG blasts Biden admin after Department of Justice sues state over much-needed election integrity law. White House dodges questions on Biden admin plan to financially settle with illegal migrants. House Republicans move to stall Biden's vaccine mandate. Virginia parent responds to writer who labeled female Youngkin voters racist scorned Karens. Dallas rapper Yella Beezy arrested on sexual assault, weapons charges, reports. Cuomo's arraignment moved from November 17 to January 7 over potentially defective charge. Washington Post's Jennifer Rubin's guesses about Virginia election don't age well. Greg Jarrett, the Hillary Clinton crony behind the phony dossier identified in Durham indictment. U.S. colleges report fewer foreign gifts after Biden takes office, sparking concern from Rep. Gallagher. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Friday, November 5th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Try decking these halls, 'tis soon the season for Christmas decorations. The knives are out for Jacob Rees-Mogg and Chief Whip as PM is told to clear out no 10-top team. Owen Patterson corruption row rages, voters say this government is mired in worst sleaze for decades. John Humphreys, toxic trainers that prove the young cannot blame us oldies for ruining the world. New biography which Terence Conran tried to ban in his lifetime. French football star David Ginola signs up for I'm a Celeb. Boris Johnson effigy is set ablaze as anarchists hurl fireworks and fight with police in London. Elizabeth Debicki recreates Diana's racy riposte to a Charles moment for the crown. Mother of one tells of her horror at the thought of David Fuller violating her darling girl. Helpline is flooded by calls from devastated families over morgue predator David Fuller. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. China Xi Jinping, preparing for a third term, shuts the door on the past. Germany confirms Russian diplomat found dead in Berlin last month, Russia calls it tragic accident. Owner's body is found in Nigerian tower collapse that killed dozens. Japanese death row inmates sue over same-day notification of executions. Canada's military, rocked by abuse crisis, loses power to investigate and prosecute sex misconduct cases. As pandemic pounds Ukraine, desperate officials try to scare people into getting the jab. Photos, the scene in Nigeria after tower collapse kills dozens. Pills brings new hope in the global fight against COVID-19. What climate activists from 6 countries want to see at COP26. In Glasgow, young activists take to the streets to demand more from UN Climate Summit. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Coronavirus live, UK reports 193 deaths. Austria announces new COVID measures as cases rise. Democratic standoff as progressives object to Pelosi infrastructure vote plan, live. Armstrong blessed Southampton to victory to increase Aston Villa's woes. Spreading the wealth, black-owned investment firms tackle the racial finance gap. Has De Bruyne, the jewel in Manchester City's crown, begun to lose his shine? Jonathan Liu. Rogers rips woke mob and touts Joe Rogan in first remark since COVID test. Expansion of California gas plant that leaked methane in 2015 draws criticism. The name's not Bond, where next for 007? West Hollywood votes to set highest minimum wage in U.S. What happened at COP26, Day 5 at a glance. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Man burst into flames after taser used on him, police say. Infant son of Pete Buttigieg home after hospitalization. Hearing set for 2 Iowa students charged in teacher's death. Pelosi presses for votes Friday on Dems' agenda as Biden calls key House members. Updates, first day of Ahmaud Arbery murder case wraps up. Live, ABC News Live. Sacramento detectives use DNA to find Cloverleaf rapist. Troopers, helicopter rescues 7 iced in at remote Alaska camp. Bond raised for mom of 8-year-old boy left dead in Houston apartment. Judge nixes challenge to ban on Florida school mask mandates. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Hello, Senator, this is the Duchess of Sussex calling. Ahmaud Arbery murder trial, prosecutors reveal full footage of black jogger's death. Ethiopia urges ex-soldiers to join fight against Tigray rebels. COVID vaccine to be mandatory for children in Costa Rica. Camels escape circus and wander Madrid streets. Greta Thunberg, COP26 is a failure and PR exercise. My day at COP26, by helping out delegates I'm remembering Granddad. Vietnamese minister criticized over Salt Bae gold-plated steak dinner. Russian diplomat found dead outside Berlin embassy. COVID, Pfizer says antiviral pill 89% effective in high-risk cases. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Prosecutors call first witness, play graphic body cam video, live, updates from trial over Ahmaud Arbery killing. An act like this is unspeakable, 2 Iowa teens charged with killing high school Spanish teacher. U.S. closer to having antiviral COVID-19 drug available, 11 states sue over Biden vaccine mandate, latest updates. AP top stories November 5th p. Self-defense claim at issue in Arbery trial. Atlanta celebrates Braves World Series win. Kids receive COVID-19 vaccine shots in Queens. Witness at Kenosha trial describes chaotic scene. Jill Scott on Highway to Heaven film remake, new music. Slain Iowa Spanish teacher Nahima Grabber lived remarkable life, pilot, I'm migrant and an absolute angel. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. I will not comply, Los Angeles Police Department officer says he'll lose job rather than obey vaccine mandate. Former USC athletics official pleads guilty in college admissions scandal. Court order reinstates distance learning for group of disabled students. LA Times photographer Bill Beebe, who waded into ocean to snap iconic JFK image, dies at 94. LA Pride Parade will be back in person next summer after 2-year COVID-19 hiatus. Column, a veteran of guaranteed income, she has some advice for LA's new recipients. Far fewer Californians getting COVID-19 booster shots than expected, bringing the new alarms. Grieving relatives sue facilities over COVID-19 deaths. Nursing homes say they're immune. Rust tragedy highlights labor tensions in New Mexico as production surges. Utilities Commission approves gas storage plan at Aliso Canyon over residents' objections. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Friday, November 5th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Supporters of Taiwan independence will be liable for life, says China. Russian diplomat found dead in Berlin was intelligence officer. Scuffles at Western Wall as hundreds of Orthodox try to block progressive prayer. Japan won't sign COP26 statement on ending use of coal-fired plants. Turkey not invited to Biden's upcoming summit for democracy. Italian Senate approves law banning sexist and discriminatory adverts. Convert to Hinduism or die. Hindu mobs disrupt Christian prayer meet, assault pastors, burn Bible. Australia's Great Barrier Reef will survive if global warming kept to 1.5 degrees. Ransomware HQ, Moscow's tallest tower is a cybercriminal cash machine. Top Russian spy's son dead after fall from embassy in Berlin. By decree, Bolsonaro honors himself with scientific merit. Aboriginal man wrongly named as Cleo Smith's abductor plans to sue 7 Network. New Delhi wakes up to blanket of toxic smog and worst pollution all year after Tufan firework ban. China says it will hold supporters of Taiwan's independence criminally responsible for life. Unity Day, Putin proclaims Crimea forever a part of Russia. The next headlines are from Forbes. Here are the GOP-led states fighting the Biden administration's private employer vaccine mandate. Washington football team's bye week allows space for big picture questions entering second half. Inflation is rising. Has the Fed got it wrong, and will volatility rise? Jason Bonham on preserving the legacy of John Bonham and revisiting Led Zeppelin on stage. Ingrid Michaelson loves Christmas music. Her songs for the season deluxe edition just dropped today. Glenn Youngkin's 17-year-old son unsuccessfully tried to vote in Virginia governor's race, county says. Peloton reportedly freezes hiring as shares plunge 35% following dismal earnings. Fewer Californians getting COVID-19 booster shots than expected amid nationwide progress. Cuomo sex crimes case rocked by admission of DA that complaint may be defective. Boxing's biggest feud, Canelo Alvarez vs. Caleb Plant, what's at stake and predictions. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Scientists cheer India's ambitious carbon zero climate pledge. My first pet. COP26 climate pledges, what scientists think so far. Worker ants vault to queenly rank after just one gene turns on. Sponge cells hint at origins of nervous system. Whale cams reveal how much they really eat. Whales' gigantic appetites, climate fears, the week in infographics. Line in the sand, the physics of halting a dune on the march. Scientists glimpse little galactic clusters on their way to greatness. The power of poo, and what to expect from robots, books in brief. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,742,675,949 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time, and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Ed Sheeran says SNL appearance was never in question, even during really bad COVID symptoms. Shanghai Disneyland turns COVID-19 shutdown nightmare into romantic PR coup. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever 2 shut down production while Letitia Wright recovers from onset injury. A24 picks up Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Nicole Holofcener's Beth and On. Music industry moves, Lamb of God's D. Randall Blythe, Cole Chambers does Fafra back charity-minded cryptocurrency. Chili's Quijote Films, Francis Levalser's backhand winner Diego Cespedes exclusive. Comedian Benito Skinner joins Billy Eichner's Bros exclusive. Sanfic Industria underscores growth with massive prize avalanche. Padma Lakshmi's Taste the Nation returns with holiday specials, more focus, and a damning Thanksgiving take, TV review. Viola Davis Warrior epic The Woman King set for 2022, George Foreman biopic moves to 2023. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. This 9-foot Atari video game joystick claims the record as the world's largest. Coronavirus frequently asked questions, it's cold and flu season, and COVID season, how do I stay unsick? New coronavirus, likely from dogs, infects people in Malaysia and Haiti. University of Florida allows professors to testify in a voting rights case after all. One Chinese town has started a fiery online debate about China's zero-COVID policy. Dwayne Johnson vows to stop using real guns in film projects after Rust tragedy. The flamingo is in the running to replace the mockingbird as Florida's state bird. After sprinting through the pandemic, Peloton stock hits a wall. New USAID director aims to shake up 60-year-old aid agency. Here's her new vision. After a concussion, the brain may no longer make sense of sounds. The following headlines are from The Week. Nancy Pelosi, on the party's back and forth agenda negotiations, welcome to my world. Here's who that mysterious voice was at the end of I, Eternal's I. Facebook negatively impacts sleep, work, relationships for about 1 in 8 users, documents show. The Democrats' deception on critical race theory. I, Eternal's I, is a visual catastrophe. How did Chloe Zhao go wrong? Aaron Rodgers complains he's being targeted by the woke mob for not being vaccinated. Solutions, Crossword and Sudoku, issue, November 12, 2021. Puzzles, Interactive Crossword, issue, November 12, 2021. Puzzles, Printable Crossword and Sudoku, issue, November 12, 2021. Department of Justice investigates ties to Project Veritas and theft of Biden's daughter's diary. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. The Texas Railroad Commission is a captive agency. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Will water bears be the first interstellar astronauts? Experiment finds no sign of sterile neutrinos. Supercomputer simulates what happens when meteors strike the atmosphere. Hubble science instruments are malfunctioning, putting the telescope in safe mode. Magnetic chamber can simulate microgravity, or Mars gravity, here on Earth. NASA is getting serious about the search for life in the universe. These are the news headlines for today, Friday, November 5th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Chaco Canyon in New Mexico, and its astronomical rock art. Revealing hidden alien oceans, with chemistry. Global climate change may impact crops within 10 years. Ceres and Aldebaran meet in early November 2021. Aurora alert, CME impacting Earth. Photos of this week's auroras, wow. Uranus at opposition November 4th. Seasons of Uranus, a sideways world. Exoplanet lost its atmosphere in ancient impact. The next news is from Politico. Pfizer pill significantly cuts risk of COVID-19 death, company says. Rwandan minister hits back at Greta Thunberg, at COP26. UK trade chief a no-show at key COP26 event on trade's role fighting climate change. Congress, explained, a guide to the current Dem dysfunction. Cuomo criminal complaint potentially defective, De says. Pentagon bearing down on Biden to shelve nuclear reforms. Florida Attorney General files petition against Biden vaccine requirements. Opinion it's getting dire in Afghanistan, Biden cannot walk away. House Dems throw new curveball, infrastructure vote, weighed on party line mega bill. Judge rejects comparison between January 6th riot and George Floyd unrest. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. NSW records 271 new local COVID-19 cases and 3 deaths. State records 1,268 new COVID-19 cases, 7 deaths. We didn't realize how lucky we were, how the class of 2021 made it through. 2 charged over Port Stevens shooting death. Colin Powell remembered for leadership, integrity and love of ABBA at funeral. What's $1 trillion between old friends? Priya Singh saving the planet. The latest Australian James Bond star is address. Morrison descended into political hell, now he hopes to emerge. Your pet knows you don't like that person, they won't judge you though. Thunberg calls COP26 a failure as summit chief warns of a long week ahead. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Market Extra, corporate America's borrowing binge seen barely slowing as Federal Reserve tapers. Pelosi pushes for vote tonight on infrastructure bill and delay for social spending plan, even as progressives object. Money, AMC's Adam Aron has a deep and abiding belief in the power of popcorn. The Wall Street Journal, attorneys general from 11 states sue Biden administration over vaccine mandate. Newswatch, Bitcoin Cash hoax underlines need for regulatory protection, investor caution, experts say. Too many people remain unvaccinated for us to get out of this pandemic, business groups weigh in on employee vaccine mandate. I have never seen this before in my life, this small business owner raised starting pay, but it's not enough in today's labor market. An unprecedented departure, unvaccinated workers face new challenge paying for their COVID-19 testing. Market snapshot, Dow, S&P 500, Nasdaq end at record highs, extending streak of weekly gains on Pfizer pill study, stronger than expected jobs report. Personal Finance Daily, this small business owner raised starting pay, but it's not enough in today's labor market, and don't trust that's estimate number for your house. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Whiskey Chronicles of Edmund Taylor Jr., Part 4, Bluegrass Distilling Empire, The Whiskey Wash. Rambus Incorporated Management's discussion and analysis of financial condition and results of operations, Form 10-Q, MarketScreener.com. Samus wins patent infringement lawsuit against Google, Lixology. Patent data reveals strong growth in key climate change mitigation technologies despite slow COP progress. IAM. CSCT releases report on global trends in robotics patents, Executive Gov. UK consultation on treatment of AI in copyright and patents legislation, Lixology. UK considers new IP right for AI, Pinsent Masons. Colorado State University Research Foundation is seeking an IP administrator, IPWatchdog.com. Climate-saving inventions will lead to growth, says study, Cambridge Network. IPs are relevant for tech startups, Hemming Shaw on startups learning to protect, secure, and maximize their your story. The next headlines are from Quartz. The share of Americans working from home is down by half from the peak. Pfizer plans on selling its new COVID drug for years to come. A history of legal vaccine mandates show they are successful. Supply chain issues have pushed shippers back to bulk cargo. The summit's most divisive issue. Uber customers are going out again, but they still want their meals delivered. The pandemic barely dented the huge rise in carbon emissions since 1990. Peloton's earnings show Americans may be abandoning at-home workouts. How to make meetings and information equitable in a hybrid workplace. How to ask for a raise. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Chip shortages mar Starlink's long-awaited exit from beta. Copyright troll Richard Leibovitz suspended from practicing law in New York. Fifth Circuit Appeals Court strips immunity for officers who arrested a journalist for asking questions. Daily Deal, the complete 2021 cybersecurity super bundle. Senators Dillis and Leahy raised the alarm about Judge Albright's patent forum selling in Waco. U.S. broadband growth slows as the profit party grinds to a halt. King.com opposes Candy Crunch trademark application from actual fruit varietal maker. Content moderation case study, Facebook struggles to correctly moderate the word ho, 2021. Data privacy is the price of the latest antitrust proposals. Seventh Circuit says Riley doesn't apply to searches of parolees' phones. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Odell Beckham Jr. Stranger Things Season 4. ABBA. Guy Fawkes. Scotland vs. India. Lauren Boebert. Finch. Kangan. Colin Powell. Pfizer stock. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Million mask march protesters clash with police in London, videos. Another EU country permits employers to dismiss staff who refuse COVID-19 jab. Biden's energy secretary laughs at question on high U.S. gas prices. Chicago schools close for Vaccine Awareness Day and NYC pays kids to get jabbed. I realize I'm in the crosshairs of the woke mob, NFL star Aaron Rodgers responds to fake vaccine controversy, video. New FBI report definitively proves Russia agate, which dogged Trump's U.S. presidency, was made up from the start. Bomb threats reported at Yale University in Connecticut, video. Greta Thunberg calls COP26 a failure and global greenwashing festival, video. Macron's ex-security aide given 3-year sentence over protester assaults. Fake president, Candace Owens and Joe Biden and Kamaru Usman comparison after Dana White howls at terrifying UFC face-off, video. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Florida court reinstates governor's ban on masking mandates in schools. FBI raids Project Veritas staffer in probe over Biden daughter's diary. China calls U.S. the world's top nuclear threat, hitting back at Pentagon report. GOP Congresswoman Lauren Boebert mocks AOC with Let's Go Brandon dress. Taby, Rachel Maddow's shocking new low. NYD pushes to throw out sexual harassment charge against Cuomo. NYC fire truck availability down to 55%, manpower shortages due to vaccine mandate, NY firefighters. Fed taper sparks best week for bonds, stocks, and gold in over 6 months. CDC director refuses to tell senators how many CDC employees are fully vaxxed. U.S. credit card debt soars back over $1 trillion as pandemic excess savings run out. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Ahmaud Arbery was killed based on assumptions, U.S. prosecutor says. UN Security Council calls for an end to Ethiopia fighting. Chinese state firm weighs bid to acquire Libya's SCMP. Bosnians worried push to create Serb army may prompt violence. As Israel threatens power cuts, how can Palestine pay its bills? Mona Lisa smile, copy, dating back to 1600, set for Paris auction. Baby handed to U.S. soldiers in chaos of Afghan airlift missing. Why are COVID-19 infections rising sharply in Europe? Despite tight supply, U.S. refiners export most gas in 3 years. Israeli forces kill Palestinian boy in occupied West Bank. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Breitbart's News Daily Podcast Step 5, Vax Mandates Coming, Payoffs for Aliens Back On, and guest Francis Mardell. Indiana STEM Administrator, when we tell you CRT isn't taught in our schools, we're lying. Poll, Biden agenda underwater, majority say no or negative impact on their lives. Report, Aaron Rodgers furious after being outed as unvaccinated. LA Archbishop decries rise of globalism, anti-Christian elite leadership class. Ron DeSantis, Republicans make history, overtaking Democrats in Florida voter registration. Home invasion suspects ages 12, 14 arrested with stolen gun, drugs in Michigan. Energy Ceci Granholm laughs, blames OPEC when asked her plan to increase oil production. Ron DeSantis, OSHA rule created under the guise of emergency power. Ron DeSantis announces lawsuit challenging Biden's OSHA vaccine mandate. The next headlines are from UPI News. Store's shortage of women's preferred lottery tickets earns her $200,000. Bear approaches British Columbia woman on her porch, licks her hand. European red deer on the loose in Georgia. Watch, ring lost for 39 years found in Minnesota lake by 7-year-old. Overdue book returned to New Jersey Library after 43 years. Watch, Minnesota police called to break up Bald Eagle street fight. Watch, illusionist escapes straitjacket 300 times in 8 hours. Watch, moose crashes through window into Saskatchewan classroom. Lottery ticket bought out of frustration earns $2.4 million jackpot. Firefighters help rescue trapped dog from sewer basin in Michigan. The following headlines are from Earth Files, updates on Earth and astronomical mysteries. Part 5, Army CIA unit studied the real UFO Blue Book cases. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. One of Britain's last D-Day veterans returns from France completing his final mission, and 68 years of charity. World's longest undersea cable to send clean energy from Morocco to the UK, powering 7 million homes. Meditation training reduces long-term stress, hair analysis shows. Largest Anglo-Saxon gold coin hoard discovered in English field. It started with 5 families, now hundreds are biking to school together with the bike bus. To cut religious tension, Bangladesh is removing Islam as state religion, embracing original secular constitution. When negotiating, how tough should your first offer be? Scientists reveal what works best. Here's all the good news from the COP26 Global Climate Summit thus far. The sous chef brings indigenous food back to the forefront of American diets. A new species of human ancestor was just named Homo bodonsis, a direct line from Africa to modern man. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Friday, November 5th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Idiot guy trying to show off with his motorcycle on the highway gets instant karma. Driver speeding and overtaking slams and gets stuck under the truck. Driver cutting off gets immediately hit by the oncoming car. Dogs are basically humans, says best study ever. Petition to erect Emperor Palpatine statue in Carnoustie, Scotland gains traction. Death row inmates sue Japan for not having enough time to prepare for execution. Landlord locks gate with live snake to prevent rent-owing tenants from entering. A family donated a man's body to science. He was dissected in front of a live audience. While investigating allegations of a fake psychologist, police charge a real one. Republican, Florida man, primary winner is ex-felon who never applied for the right to hold office. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Google launches DeepMind 2, a pharmaceutical hullabaloo. Why everyone is talking about green steel at COP26. Can your car tell you what it needs? Porsche thinks so. Take advantage of pre-Black Friday savings on this 4K drone. Microsoft Excel is still the data analytics gold standard. The pre-Black Friday sale can teach you fast. Jabba the Hutt inspires human-style eyes for robots. Being a witch on TikTok seems just as controversial as it was in the 16th century. Why are people with nothing to hide so scared of Clearview AI's facial recognition? Google bends the knee to South Korea, allows third-party in-app payments. Consumers see through woke-washing, but real change is possible for brands. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Multiple sclerosis drug improves memory in mice modeling Alzheimer's disease. Scientists identify mechanism that may influence infectivity of SARS-CoV-2 variants. When macrophages let off steam. Wind and solar could power the world's major countries most of the time. Electron family creates previously unknown state of matter. How cells correctly choose active genes. New strategy against treatment-resistant prostate cancer identified. Comparing photosynthetic differences between wild and domesticated rice. Experts master defects in semiconductors. Lining up chemical reactions for sustainable drug production. The next headlines are from Information Week. How IT budgets must adapt to remote work. The perils of patching. Cloud may see more AI, face increased geopolitical friction. How AI can help your organization stay a step ahead of cyber attackers. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Friday, November 5th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA selects new mission to study storms, impacts on climate models. NASA invites media to Artemis update. Vice President Harris to visit NASA Goddard today, deliver live remarks. NASA SpaceX Crew 2 to discuss station mission, upcoming splashdown. NASA statement on Artemis lunar lander court decision. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Friday update, here are the latest vote totals in Salt Lake County cities. Utah legislators to vote on redistricting, Dixie state name and bail reform in upcoming session. Environmental advocate poised to unseat Midvale's mayor. Utah again reports double-digit deaths from COVID-19. Utah joins lawsuit over Biden's vaccine mandate for large companies. Utah GOP lawmaker charged with poaching and firearms violations may face ethics probe. Utah tried to get more students on the internet during the pandemic. After $6 million, it barely moved the needle. Some Christmas lights will shine at Temple Square, even with construction. Police ID man who killed self after shootout with Taylorsville officer. Man kills self after shootout with police in Taylorsville. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Over 50 PC games are incompatible with Intel's Alder Lake CPUs due to DRM. The US has big, new plans to pull CO2 out of the air. Amazon seeks US regulators' permission to launch another 4,538 satellites. After 76 years, Japan has aircraft carriers again. Europe once again at center of COVID pandemic, says WHO. Half world's fossil fuel assets could become worthless by 2036 in net zero transition. U.S. Senate bill would limit big tech mergers. Is Facebook bad for you? It is for about 360 million users, company survey suggests. Kroger gets hit by fake crypto news. Facebook faces new antitrust lawsuit. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Need a booster? Mayor sends a reminder that thousands in St. Louis are eligible. Will Thanksgiving turkeys be at St. Louis stores? Yes, but there are other issues. Odd antiques discovered inside Belleville home's walls reveal hidden history. Delay in child doses of COVID-19 vaccine affects clinics in St. Louis County. Threat of violence sends some Riverview Garden students home early. Where to get the best donuts in St. Louis? Fox 2 viewers share their favorites. Tower Grove Park prepares for massive Pokemon Go event. Century's longest lunar eclipse will be visible in Missouri later this month. Low tire pressure distracts Hazelwood woman before attempted carjacking. Shots fired after a Ladue woman interrupts suspects rifling through cars. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Thanksgiving store closings. These retailers will be closed for the holiday. Man sentenced in car crash, death of 18-year-old. Help needed. Meals on Wheels makes urgent call for volunteers. Burn permits suspension in San Diego County to be lifted. Fire causes $150,000 in damage to Mission Valley restaurant. Border Patrol investigates after about 20 people come ashore in La Jolla. It's race day at the Breeders' Cup, loaded field set for action in Del Mar. Photos, high surf closes Ocean Beach Pier as fog starts to lift. Affordable condos available soon in Carlsbad community. 81-year-old man missing from San Isidro. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Boeing's potentially game-changing drone project achieves significant milestone. Australia receives 4 more F-35 fighter jets. Russia's Navy might get 2 new nuclear submarines in 2022. Egypt in talks with Ukraine to buy high-precision rocket systems. U.S. Army tests next-generation round for Abrams tank. U.S. military tests astonishing array of new technology at Yuma Proving Ground. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Between dimensions. The rise of Manner Coffee. China's 4th Delta spike spreads to 19 regions, tests COVID-0 policy. China's leading LGBTQ advocacy group deletes social media accounts, appears to be in jeopardy. Who is the real Wang Yuning? The wild, wonderful, and very queer world of Chinese radio dramas. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Friday, November 5th, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Video shows Ruggs, girlfriend sobbing in shock after deadly fiery crash. Second grader suspended 38 times over mask mandate could flunk out. California University all-in with partnerships south of the border. Multiple bomb threats reported at Yale University, local residents urged to stay clear of area. Family issues keep Governor Newsom out of public sight. 49ers activate George Kittle off IR, will play against Arizona Cardinals. Capitol rioter who tweeted she was definitely not going to jail gets prison term. Video surveillance shows vehicle involved in fatal shooting in Oakland. 1 dead in late-night Pleasanton car accident. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Witness, Kenosha victim was belligerent but no threat. Rogers sought treatments instead of COVID-19 vaccine. Peterson savoring chance of playing in NFL again with Titans. Decision day comes to MLS and chaos reigns, as usual. You can use any kind of camera to photograph wall colors around the suburbs. Redistricting lawsuit to be heard in early December. COVID-19 update, second highest number of test results in a day, and only 1.7% turned positive. Gourd riddance, knights carry out King of all pumpkin smashes at medieval times. District 15 closing elementary school for 2 weeks after COVID-19 outbreak. Lincecum, Aaron Rodgers might own the Bears, but he doesn't own any common sense. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. The Eagles, Disney on Ice, new exhibits, more things to do in Seattle this weekend. Washington officials, if you're hoping to avoid the state's new long-term care tax, you should apply for an exemption soon. Lorena Gonzalez concedes Seattle mayoral race, Bruce Harrell headed to victory. Mayor Durkin expands unlimited transit program to include Seattle middle school students. The Kraken are vying to become Seattle's next beloved sports franchise. Here are 3 things all Kraken fans should know. Looking to buy a vehicle, you'll want to avoid these highest depreciating cars, trucks in Seattle. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for tropical cyclone Ighteen, E21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for tropical cyclone 1-21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo. Drought is ongoing in South Sudan. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Croatia, Italy, Romania, Serbia, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Cameroon, Nigeria. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Friday, November 5th in the Greenwich Mean Time time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Where to watch the 2021 Houston Dia de los Muertos Parade. Colin Powell remembered in funeral at Washington National Cathedral. Stampede at Astro World Fest entry unfolds in front of ABC 13 crew. Sexual assault suspect in the Woodlands appears to have been taken down by his work t-shirt. Astros and Dusty Baker agree on one-year deal to keep manager in Houston. Ahmaud Arbery case, attorneys present jurors with dueling portraits of Arbery in trial opening. Actress Lauren Ridloff brings Marvel's first deaf superhero to life in Eternals. Judge raises total bond of Houston mom accused of abandoning kids with son's corpse to $1.5 million. Eternals review, Sandy Kenyon tells Avengers to move aside and make room. House to vote on infrastructure bill, advancement of Biden's Build Back Better agenda unclear. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. DEP leader to take vote into account in permit decision. North Carolina sued over newly passed maps favoring GOP. Court to hear cases of docs convicted in pain pill schemes. PHF head, time is now for women's hockey groups to unite. Wilson watching Jets' offensive success could help in return. Indiana congressman deletes post, gets Twitter access back. Giants injured Barkley off COVID list, but out versus Raiders. Company halts work program instead of upping detainee pay. Lightning defenseman Mikhail Sergachev suspended 2 games. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra extra, everything's coming up rats, because rats are everywhere. Ed Mullins docked $32,000 for offensive tweets, but will still keep book of benefits. How warring Democrats lost a battle over voting rights even in deep blue New York. How new legislation could end the scourge of daylight saving time system in NY. Think stink, corpse flower is blooming at NY Botanical Garden right now. After general election, all eyes shift to NYC Council Speaker's race. Helicopter's unauthorized landing in Crown Heights vacant lot prompts high-altitude police pursuit. Emergency response times unchanged, but fewer NYC firefighters deployed due to vaccine protest. Early edition, 750-mile bike trail from Manhattan to Canada, anyone? Elected officials call on Stanton to drop man's charges following drug planting allegations. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. As a humanitarian crisis engulfs Afghanistan, education cannot wait makes urgent appeal for access to quality learning for all children. At COP26, EBRD launches plan to mobilize private capital for climate finance. In Glasgow, Indigenous people pound the table for their rights. By 2030, half the world's population will be exposed to flooding, storms, tsunamis. Zimbabwe's high-risk cross-border trade. World food prices reach highest level in more than a decade. UN Food Systems Summit, breakthrough or missed opportunity? Energy Day at COP26, voices call out for an end to use of coal, gas and oil. COVID-19, Europe and Central Asia, epicenter of new rise. UN experts call for protection of trafficked workers from Vietnam and Saudi Arabia. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Shocker, Pentagon review finds no misconduct or legal violations in Kabul drone strike that killed children. San Francisco mandating COVID vax for all 5 to 11-year-olds to access businesses. Congress made crucial change to vaccine definition weeks before COVID-19. Noam Chomsky goes off the deep end, proving that all socialism leads to tyranny. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Corpse of man who died from COVID-19 dissected for paying audience. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla was not arrested. U.S. employers shrugged off virus and stepped up hiring. Florida considers ousting Mockingbird from honorary perch. 2 dead in dramatic shootout near upscale Mexican resorts. Royal jewels and Kobe Bryant's shoes set for Geneva auction. Indians celebrate Festival of Light amid COVID-19 fears. Soldier surprises younger sis with homecoming at Georgia IHOP. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Biden botches Virginia election history. Japan continues to use vaccines, not ivermectin, to fight COVID-19. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Shop Amazon's small business selection for the perfect gifts. Chicago cop who killed dad pleading for help was nearly fired in 2018. Theo Crony publicly disses best man in spat over vaccines. Woke mob warrior Aaron Rodgers quotes MLK in insane anti-vaxxer diatribe. I'll blow your F-wording head off, Ahmaud Arbery murdered in cold blood, prosecutors say. Red Notice, Netflix's most expensive movie ever, is big, dumb and lots of fun. Lauren Boebert's Let's Go Brandon dress screams prom villain. Ruggs Corvette seen flying down street moments before fiery fatal crash. 4-year-old kidnapper was fanatical Bratz doll collector. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Voters to Dems, drop dead. Nina Dobrev then and now, her looks through the years. China LGBT rights group shuts down amid hostile environment. A guide to the planets in astrology and what they each represent. Netflix's Love Hard ending, explained, who does Natalie end up with? The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Flying into June's Ring of Fire eclipse. The sky this week. Mercury meets Mars. Ask Astro. Does dark energy create the voids between galaxy clusters? How does China's hypersonic glide vehicle work? Looking for galaxies in all the wrong places. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. How a focus on climate change could assist with U.S. national security policies. Pfizer says its antiviral COVID-19 pill is 89% effective in preventing hospitalizations. How to watch longest partial lunar eclipse. Doctor on antiviral pills to battle COVID-19 and the rollout of vaccines for kids. James Balog's photos chronicle climate change. Fauci says dark winter can be avoided if more are vaccinated. David Pogue in his quest to make scientific achievements relatable. HPV vaccine cuts cervical cancer rate by 87%. Millions facing winter weather conditions. Rising ocean waters threaten tribal lands. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Flat earther and convictioneer dies after experiencing multiple COVID symptoms. Sleep expert on daylight saving time, give it a rest. FDNY fully operational again after COVID vaccine mandate shortages, de Blasio. Eric Adams blames election day losses on Dems catering to anarchists. Bulgarian presidential candidate detained for 72 hours, charged over alleged attack on LGBTQ community center. Attorneys present jurors with dueling portraits of Ahmaud Arbery. Eritrean migrant fatally struck by train in France, 3 more injured. Groping case against ex-Gov, Cuomo is potentially defective, Albany DA writes. Cleo Smith's family thanks authorities who rescue the missing Australian 4-year-old. Angelina Jolie praises Marvel for refusing to cut same-sex scenes in Eternals after movie is banned in Gulf countries. The following headlines are from military.com. Colin Powell remembered as a model for future generations. What happened to members of the military accused of storming the Capitol on January 6? VA acknowledges Mar-a-Lago members had pervasive access to VA officials and sought to exert influence. The best places for veterans to live, try Tampa, but avoid Detroit, survey finds. Istanbul protesters place hood on U.S. Navy civilian, resulting in detention of 17 people. Japan, Germany expand military ties as German warship visits. Ex-veterans hospital worker admits stealing $10 min HIV meds. No relief in sight for military family moves snarled by pandemic. Department of Defense rolls out pediatric COVID-19 vaccine to military hospitals. Navy fires 2 top officers of submarine damaged in collision. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Jury hears from family of men Rittenhouse killed. CPS kids are getting a day off next week as a vaccine incentive, but some parents say it's more headache than a help. Chicago's Christmas tree in Millennium Park, where it comes from and when the lighting ceremony takes place. The 108th Annual City of Chicago Christmas Tree. Rittenhouse judge says, this is not a political trial, but can jurors leave their beliefs at the courtroom door? Quarrel over affair, struggle preceded fatal shooting of Chicago cop by his wife, also a cop, while both were off-duty in Northwest Side home, prosecutors say. Mayor Lori Lightfoot's administration improperly withheld the name of a supervisor who allegedly sexually harassed worker, Attorney General. Column, men in Chicago radio face a reckoning over loudish behavior, some should be starting to sweat. 2-year-old girl fatally shot Thursday night in Harvey, city officials say, this is a tragedy, we're heartbroken. Czech language passed from generation to generation at a Cicero school built 100 years ago. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Secondary forests restore freshwater sources in degraded landscapes. Study evaluates the association between environmental factors and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Employment for people with disabilities reaches historic levels. Scientists develop microscopic calibration tool with fluorescent nanodiamonds. Fractured artificial rock helps crack a 54-year-old mystery. Does environmental stress drive migration? Evolution led to similarities in the melodies of animal vocalizations and human languages. Panicked response to pandemic made for shabby legislation. Creating ultra-diffuse galaxies. Novel plasmonic solar thermal materials developed to reserve sun heat. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Friday, November 5th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Underwater sculptures stop illegal fishing. Scientists used X-rays to peek into Marie Antoinette's secret love letters. Startling new sea creatures. Animals of the forest floor. The mad genius stereotype, fact or merely fiction? 5 fierce warrior cultures. The creepy feeling in the uncanny valley. 5 inventions that changed the world. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Public dissection of donated body in Oregon was educational, company says. Olympic champion ski racer Schifrin dealing with back issue. Chargers Herbert taking recent rough stretch in stride. Mainz holds injury hit Gladbach 1-1 in Bundesliga. Prosecutor, mother got financial help for son after killing. Seattle City Council should heed voter sentiment on public safety. Build back better, make it happen. Cubs claim LHP Wade Miley off waivers from Reds. Zurkowski shines for Empoli in 2-2 draw with Genoa. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Correction, writer's name corrected in letters to the editor for October 31, 2021. Trump accuses nutjob Alec Baldwin of purposefully shooting Helena Hutchins. How allegations against Suns owner Robert Sarver disrupted Draymond Green's day off. House Democrats delay $1.85 trillion social bill, plan infrastructure vote. Victim's family releases statement on fatal Las Vegas crash involving Raiders receiver Henry Ruggs III. SF Giants make first 3 off-season moves, add former first-round draft choice. 49ers vs Cardinals injury report, Samuel questionable, Wilson ready if Mitchell isn't. COVID, cities and states offer to pay kids if they get vaccinated. Suspect charged in September 16 Oakland homicide, he allegedly refused court order to give DNA sample. Trial starts for 3 accused of Elsa Bronte bar murder, case was originally charged as a hate crime until grand jury rejected enhancements. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Safety panel accepts Metro plan for testing rail cars. Jeffrey Clark, former Trump Department of Justice official, refuses to answer questions before House January 6 panel. Glenn Youngkin's underage son tried to vote, election officials say. Kirsten Gillibrand to invite Meghan Markle to D.C. to push for family leave. Pentagon offering few clues about Iran's seizure of oil tanker. Andrew Cuomo criminal complaint potentially defective, prosecutor says. Ukraine accuses Russia of 5,000 plus cyber attacks as Biden pushed Russia for aid. Religious organizations ask federal courts to block Biden's vaccine mandate. Project Veritas says FBI raided employees' homes in probe into Ashley Biden's stolen diary. Moderate Democrats threaten to sink Pelosi push for infrastructure, social welfare bills, hiccups. The next headlines are from The Intercept. We've all pretended about Taiwan for 72 years, it may not work any longer. If Biden wants to build back better, he should look to Obama's mistakes. No accountability in the military probe of Kabul drone strike, but intelligence failures laid bare. U.S. absolves drone killers and persecutes whistleblowers. House Democrats back off targeting billionaire tax schemes and swap in new nicotine levy. The U.S. Treasury is buying private app data to target and investigate people. Secret Israeli document offers no proof to justify terror label for Palestinian groups. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Friday, November 5th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Diana Ross gives us a heady dose of hope on Thank You. Kenosha victim belligerent but no threat, witness says. GI Bill snafus widespread and long-standing, long-secret whistleblower investigation finds. Arrest made in West Side murder of father who was driving daughter to school. Chicago man charged with murder of pregnant woman dumped in Lake Michigan. After surviving pandemic, Stephanie Izzard, Billy Dick plan to expand their food empires. Fallback, Illinois COVID-19 cases up nearly 20% as temperatures drop and people head indoors. Planning agency to review Southside Church's senior housing project. Bulls big man Nikola Vucevic has passing fancy, shooting slump or not. Rookie RT Larry Borum lauded for very good first start. The next headlines are from the Times of India. China taking incremental actions to press claims along India border. Canada yet to recognize Covaxin even after WHO nod. Wish we had couple of good overs against Pakistan, NZ but glad to get our mojo back, Kohli. T20 World Cup, India routs Scotland by 8 wickets. Bumrah becomes India's top wicket taker in men's T20s. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Friday, November 5th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Preview, The Woman in the Mirror at Match. Preview, Sister Act at Tuts. Openings and closing, Welcome the Blind Goat. Cam Franklin releases first solo single. Things to do, the best things to eat and drink in Houston this weekend. Preview, A Christmas Carol at Alley Theater. Texans and Dolphins in Battle of 1-7 train wrecks on Sunday. Things to do, read A Life in Focus by Graham Nash. Best bets the week of November 4th to 10th, 2021. 5 ridiculous complaints people make about kids on Halloween. The next headlines are about world records making news. This 9-foot Atari video game joystick claims the record as the world's largest, NPR. Alberta's Royal Tyrrell Museum celebrates 5 Guinness World Records for Dinosaur Skeleton Collection, CTV News Calgary. Omega Speedmaster CK 2915-1 breaks world record auction price at $3,115,500 CHF, Forbes. Toyota Mirai breaks world record for hydrogen vehicle, Caro 23 ABC News. CPU ZDF throws cold water on Gigabyte's 8 GHz world record, Tom's Hardware. Illusionist escapes straitjacket 300 times in 8 hours, UPI News. Kenan Isabikale has come to the NYC Marathon to win, The New York Times. BC man aims to set Guinness World Record with 1,000 burpees in 1 hour, Sonich News. Video Indian city breaks own Guinness World Record by lighting 900,000 oil lamps, ABC News. World's largest navy, China sets world record, World Record Academy. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Report, FBI raids 2 locations linked to Project Veritas. Joe Manchin's Maserati surrounded by protesters who want a livable planet after Joe Manchin and his Maserati are dead. San Diego Comic-Con Special Edition seems weird. Samsung's Galaxy S22 Ultra might have an S Pen and a hideous camera array. Jack in the Box claims cryptocurrency firm's inferior mascot is damaging the burger brand. The Boys reveals Laurie Holden's fabulous Crimson Countess costume. Unlucky delays mean International Space Station astronauts could return to Earth before their replacements arrive. What is COP26 and why is it important? The CW announces a slew of superhero premiere dates. Alphabet's Isomorphic Lab says it will use AI to discover new drugs. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Sitiki in Swaziland at 129.38 degrees Fahrenheit or 54.1 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 67.9 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 55.5 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Razer Pro Click Mini Review, a wireless mouse for power users. Apple Silicon Roadmap reveals plans for Mac Pro, MacBook Air. Faulty DRM breaks dozens of games on Intel's Alder Lake CPUs. Review, I wore Razer Zephyr N95 mask for 2 weeks so you don't have to. Apple fixes bug that caused macOS Monterey update to break some Apple T2 Macs. DDR4, DDR5, Wi-Fi, a brief overview of motherboards for Intel's new Alder Lake CPUs. Starlink gives mixed signals on whether some pre-orders are delayed until 2023. Review, Army of Thieves is a smart, witty, and ultimately poignant heist thriller. The Blame Game, how much are we responsible for recent wildfires? Theranos lab director never entered the lab, resigned over lack of clarity. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Navy nuclear sub-technician suspended after promoting lethal force over vaccine mandates. University of Florida backs down, and now will let professors testify against DeSantis administration. Newly elected New Jersey Republican posted photo of himself in blackface, and isn't sorry. Capitol riot probe headed for monumental Supreme Court ruling on whether to protect Trump, reporter. Democrats can win the culture wars, but they have to take on the fight early and often. Gasps heard during Ahmaud Arbery trial as prosecution shows footage of shooting, CNN reporter. Chicago police officer charged with shooting another officer while both were off duty in Northwest Side home, authorities say. New Virginia governor's son tried to vote this week, despite not being of legal age, elections officials. Watch, slur-spewing landlord pulls gun on black tenant. Nikki Haley gets pilloried for her glaring error and hypocrisy in calling for politicians' cognitive tests. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Trump faces new legal threats on both sides of the Atlantic. Republicans are erasing decades of voting rights gains before our eyes. Carbon is my thing, a climate geek aims to erase his footprint. The GOP pulled out the stops to flip school boards, it didn't work. Who goes crypto? More than 30,000 Kaiser Permanente workers just announced they'll strike this month. Judge okays racist jury selection in trial over Ahmaud Arbery's killing. The man who called BS on Uber. Or the ultra-conservative Mama Bear's Yunkin secret weapon? The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Faber launches Yes Sci-Fi Prize with publishing contracts for winners, the bookseller. Astro 2020 prioritizes extraterrestrial life, diversity in astronomy, Newswise. Search for life on other worlds tops astronomy to-do list, ABC News. Opinion Elon Musk is building a sci-fi world, and the rest of us are trapped in it, The New York Times. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. 5 ways to turn your anxiety into something useful, Futurity, Research News. Why this text can change your brain, the discoveries of a neuroscience about reading, Believe Our Commercial. Early Adversity and Development, Parsing Heterogeneity and Identifying Pathways of Risk and Resilience, American Journal of Psychiatry, MJ Psychiatry. Announcing the Allen Institute for Neural Dynamics, a new neuroscience division of the Allen Institute, PR Newswire. The Well-Traveled Path, Dr. Jenny Yu on returning to travel, Lonely Planet Travel News. Transcranial direct current stimulation in yoga for functional movement disorders, DocWire News. Aptenics, APTX, gains 4.22% on strong volume November 3, Equities.com. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Friday, November 5, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. So you think you found aliens, now what? Framework for reporting evidence of alien life. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Friday, November 5, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. Newsite is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by Newsite. All rights reserved.